Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Megan. Welcome, Dean, to our exciting edition of Mother's Day. I know we're a little behind on, a couple days here, but
it's Mother's Week. There's never a Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Year. Let's just put it that way. It's Mother's Year. And again with, season 1, episode 8, Mommy.
Mommy. You got to say it. You got to say it like the spirits do.
Yeah.
Mommy. The ones that freak you out when the dark basements of the,
when you're trapped in the
catacombs of the world.
Those when you're by yourself too,
Yeah. Yeah,
especially when you're not a mom. That's that'll really get me going. I'd be like, start hearing somebody say "mommy," I'm gonna act a certain way about it. But that's for certain.
They just call you mother
for other reasons. Right. Dean, how's the ribs? How's the injury? How are you doing on that front?
Same old. Nothing's changed. It's still, Tylenol and Lanacane patches. And
Lanacane.
And sleeping, taking nap. Yeah, isn't that what it's called?
I think so.
Lidocaine.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lanacane is for your teeth, but I thought maybe you found something new that I didn't know about. Like, you ever break a rib? Try some of this Novocaine that they put on your teeth. Put it in your ribs, man.
No.
Good stuff.
But,
well, hopefully with some time and a little bit more rest, you'll be back to your normal self, whatever that may be. Coming up here.
Whatever that may be.
Whatever that may be. For those of you who are joining us, whether it be live or later on YouTube or anywhere else that you may find us online, ghostheadsoup.com. We have Megan, and I'm Megan. Is your last name Erl, just like it reads?
Yeah, just like it reads, just no A.
All right. Earl without the A. Megan, could you give us a little bit of background upon yourself as to where you come from, what you do, what you're known for in the paranormal?
So I kind of started off pretty young. My mom was really into the paranormal, so that's kind of where I got going with it. We used to do a lot of ghost conventions. We used to go and do Bachelor's Grove, the usual haunts. And so down the line, I decided, I'd be interested in maybe getting into a group. And so it kind of worked out that, I'm from more like the Chicago suburb area. So I'm Franklin Park, North Lake. That's my home turf, And so it kind of worked out funny because I started working at a local place and I worked there with the founder's son without knowing that he did that on the side. Like he built food on the side. And it was funny because our local library, I would go in there quite a bit, and they had flyers posted that they were doing a paranormal, kind of a presentation with this local group. And I decided, I'm going to go. I usually don't go to these kind of things. And so I sat right in the back and I just kind of watched the rest of, the Paranormal Mom Society present. And I was kind of taken with them, and I was like, wow, this is really, because they don't approach the paranormal the way I've seen it, in some shows where they really blow it out of the park and they really make it really theatrical. They kind of have more of a mother approach, and they take the time to really get to know their clients. And it's more about, it's just as much about the client as it is about the evidence for them. And so when I kind of heard their whole presentation, at the end, they were mentioning that they were looking for someone to sign up as another investigator / evidence specialist. And I have a background with maybe more Adobe Creative Cloud software and different, stuff that would be beneficial for the group. And then by the end of, the day, I ended up signing up right there, and the rest is history.
That's great. Walked in, saw the broadcast or whatever it was they were doing at the time, and walked out a member of the group. Right, that's great. And you said, refresh my memory, that was Paranormal Mom Society, correct?
Yes, PMS.
Yeah, how aptly fitting for Mother's Day that we have Paranormal Mom Society member Megan with us. You know, you mentioned as well your home turf growing up was right around the Franklin Park area, right? Is that correct? So I have family that lives in Franklin Park, and I grew up going there. And a strange story that relates to the paranormal. And by the way, Liz says hello to everybody here.
Hi, Liz.
But so when I was growing up, I was probably, I want to say maybe 10, 12 years old. And so we were at Franklin Park at my aunt's house. And there's 3 cousins and then my 2 siblings. So there's 6 of us total. And we all decided that we wanted to go purchase a Ouija board. Mind you, the oldest person in this group is maybe 16 and the youngest is maybe 8 years old. And we all get this idea that we're going to hunt down and find a Ouija board. Well, couldn't find one anywhere located in Franklin Park proper. So we had to walk Grand Avenue to, I want to say it's McChesney Park or one of those places that's nearby. At any rate, it was a solid probably 5-mile walk down Grand Avenue. And we finally found inside of like a Kohl's department store or one of those department stores like that. So here we are, 6 youngsters walking it back with a Ouija board under our arm, thinking we were the greatest thing in the world, walking down Grand Avenue to get back and play it. So I've got a little tie back to Franklin Park myself with the starts of the paranormal.
I love that. You guys were determined.
Oh, we were very determined. Very, very determined.
I would have stopped at Gene and June's and called it a day.
I'm like, well, we can't find a Ouija board here. Let's go get some juice,
Right. Well, it was either that or we were going to start like, summoning something in a cemetery. So we thought Ouija board's probably the better part of valor on that one to grab the Ouija board. Now, when you say you and your own mother had some experience and she had taken you to a couple of the haunts, give me an idea of how old you were at the time, that you were starting to get exposed.
Probably, I would say the youngest, I was about 10.
Yeah?
I'd say about 10, yeah. I mean, we did ghost conventions, like the Chicago Ghost Con, kind of growing up. I think the youngest one I was probably 10. It's probably, the first one I ever went to.
Yeah. And when you were that young, do you recall having any personal experiences with anything paranormal?
Yeah. A lot of times when we go to these, they had like a after hours investigation of wherever they're hosting. So in this case, we did that Carl Schultz, I can never say it, high school in the city.
Okay.
That was one of the first ones I went to. And we had a lot of very personal experiences at the time. A lot of very bizarre like sounds and different feelings. And I think that's what kind of hooked me kind of early on. I was like, it's interesting. It's something that you can't really describe to someone unless they've felt it themselves a lot of times. Anyone who's in the paranormal field, it's 90% of it is feeling. Like you can't put that on a screen and show, hey, I'm feeling this. People are not going to believe it unless they're there to, experience it themselves in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. And, with age, the reason I was asking that, and Dean, maybe you can elaborate a little bit more, but, we had come up with a theory. I'm sure we weren't the first ones to do it, but it has to do with certain tones that are audible to people of certain ages. And we've, tested it on larger crowds. What was it, Dean? The mosquito tones?
Mosquito tones we used due to the fact that a 10-year-old child was able to hear disembodied voices where we couldn't, but we were able to capture them on our audio devices and play them back. So then that's when we started questioning, well, is it true EVP when a youngster can hear it, but an old man can't? So we kind of played with the mosquito tones, and every time we do a presentation, we do that mosquito tone. Raise your hand if you can hear it, and hopefully there's a 10-year-old in the crowd because that person's going to be the last one with their hand raised, and it works all the time. So they got sharper ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to me though, just to see the progression. A lot of people that end up actively pursuing a hobby, a career, anything of the like in the paranormal, the best ones, in my opinion, always do start off young. You know, whether it's they had that personal experience or, in your case, I like the fact again that it was your mom that took you out to experience these places. If I had asked my mom to do that when I was 10 or 12 years old, looked at me like I had a, but you know that get choppy as my internet breaks up a little bit here. So
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
Good. But yeah, I mean, she's a cool mom, and definitely
Yeah.
like it's something that I kind of thank her for now because it's something that I can see myself continuing to pursue. Like it's just such an interesting field, and there's so much growth and so much opportunity. And I think as technology, gets more, precise and advanced, we'll be able to get better evidence as we go.
Oh, absolutely on that. The way that things are just progressing, and you know what's interesting too on that. Hi, Laura.
I convinced Laura to come in.
Hi.
She is not feeling well, but you know.
I got no voice. No voice. Like me best, right?
All right. Well, you're going to add to the spookiness of the show here.
Yeah, the spookiness factor is working right there.
Great. Can you see me now?
We can see you.
Yeah, we see you.
Hi, Megan. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too.
Can she hear me?
We can all hear you. Okay, this is great. I like the addition of a horse, Laura.
Yeah.
So I know from hanging out with Laura for many, many years, I'll probably be her voice for tonight. But I know speaking to Laura and how Laura got into the field was because she lived in Illinois first, and then she moved out to California. And at an early age, she actually was known as Cemetery Girl. Is that correct? Or Cemetery Girl, Laura? Was that your nickname? Paranormal Cemetery Girl or something like that. And when you were a little girl, I don't know if you walked 5 miles to buy a Ouija board. Yeah, Cemetery Girl. I don't know if you walked 5 miles to buy a Ouija board, but I know that
in the snow barefoot.
In California.
Right.
But I know that you had some friends there that kind of shared that there was, it's been a while since I heard the story, but wasn't there a friend of yours and you were at their house and they had experiences and you kind of got in when you were like 13 years old? Is my memory serving me right? You could smile, nod. Okay, her
Wink.
camera's.
If Dean is correct, freeze up.
Yeah, so she had some earlier experiences, and I wish she could speak for herself. But that was one of the earlier stories that she had. She's freezing now. She's got her best frozen voice of. Yes, Laura? So that's how she started in the paranormal. Go ahead. Laura?
Okay. You guys are freezing up too, so. Yeah.
No, we're faking it.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep, it's a dramatic pause.
Oh, well, it's breaking up so bad I can't tell, and I still can't see that. Yeah, so back to the story. I had a friend whose mother passed away from cancer, and she was in the house, and he was never allowed to have anybody over because the mom, even though she was dead, was always letting herself be known. And so finally one day he let us come over, and of course we were going over there to be up to no good, smoking a joint, but she let us know that she was there. She took a chain on the light bulb and she swung that chain really hard so it smacked the light bulb back and forth. Ever since then, it was No feet on the coffee table, no cussing, no smoking weed in the house. So that was my first experiences. And that's when he said, that's why I can't let anybody over, because my mom's here, even though she's dead. So
That's awesome.
So from then, we couldn't party at Leon's house anymore after that.
That sounds like a 90s song, Party at Leon's or something. Can't party at Leon's anymore.
It's a love ballad.
Yeah. Had nothing to do. The light moving had nothing to do with the wacky tobacco. Nothing to do with that.
It was the chain, the pull chain swung by itself, way long and hard. I swear, I promise. It's back.
That's how she got some cemetery girl.
Smoking weed and seeing
You know, that might have been my second Ouija board story. I don't know. I might have ended up walking another 10 miles just to find a Ouija board and a joint, you know, but and we never found the Ouija board that second time. I will say I you know, not to add to it, but I did try smoking weed once for 30 years. I was like, yep, it's happened, you know, time to time. But
I hear ya.
Yeah.
So Ron says hi. He's home.
Oh, nice, Ron. Glad to see that you're back. I hope you don't have to go back to the hospital anymore. I hope this is the last of your travels and trips to there. You and Dean alone, together, I should say. You know, we don't need anybody else making a trip.
No more hospital trips for me.
Right. Dean.
No.
Dean.
No, I have a question for you.
Hey.
Yeah. So as far as what I'm looking at here, I know you had a little bit of an outline lined up. You know, with Laura being Cemetery Girl, we've got Megan as Paranormal Mom Society. Lead us into something along the lines here of Naperville. Is Laura involved in Naperville at anything here, or where were you going with that thought?
Well, before she became a super, she was a chipper with Chips Champagne, a group down south, and she went to with Chuck Kennedy, Dr. Chuck Kennedy, Marcia Mack, Sonny Bolin, her little team that she had there, and they had a investigation at Dr. Chuck Kennedy's house, which actually appeared on My Ghost Story, and I could show a cameo of Laura on there.
Laura, you were on My Ghost Story?
Oh, God. Stop.
Well, for a moment.
1 second. I was supposed to suck my bra strap and tattoo. That was it.
Hell of a cameo, right? They didn't even need your voice there either. This is great. It seems like you just gotta pop up.
No, I think I
Let's see if I can pull it up here. Whoops, it looks like your file doesn't have a video track. Oh, great. All kind of problems here.
So this was brought up, just to recap, though, this was on My Ghost Story, and this was a place that they had investigated with Chips.
It's not letting me bring it up.
Laura says no to that.
Just me and my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Just me and my girlfriend.
I see. I thought this was going to go back to, like, you know, Chicks, the little wacky tobacco. Nothing goes better with wacky tobacco than Chips. You know, I thought it was a we're investigating. We're getting the munchies. We're seeing light chain screen. Yeah. This is taking a turn here for Mother's Day. That's great.
All right, let's see. Something's pulling up, maybe.
Nice spooky music.
All right. So this is from Marcia Mack's page, YouTube page. So the spirit of a man has been seen standing at the side door So I placed the camera at the bottom of the steps and left it recording. She also placed some trigger objects on the stairs for young Christopher.
Do you like it when people come to visit you, Christopher? And you too, sir. Is that okay that we come here to say hi? Background noise.
Okay. Shh. I heard something.
This one.
Please pay close
When
attention.
you were alive, did you live here?
My food, baby.
Oh,
What? Don't freak me out.
a light anomaly went right by your head. Go stand back there.
I like how they scared you.
Well, it's dark in there. And Marcia starts yelling. I'm like, what the, you know, Jesus Christ.
You don't know what's behind you. You don't know what's around you.
And then they show a spider. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they showed that light bulb, I thought for sure we were going to see that chain going whipping back and forth.
Christopher, how did you die, honey?
Oh, of course. Chuck said, I don't know, up there.
Who said cold?
I didn't hear cold.
Did you say cold?
No.
He said, oh, of course.
I heard after how did you die? I heard cold. And then Sean started speaking. That's
Okay.
why I'm asking.
Oh, of course. Oh, of course. Oh, of course.
That's so clear.
Let's go back out there.
Yeah,
Let's
we were in
go
the
back
cold.
out
That was a
there.
good one.
I like that. Let's go back out there.
Now, where was that place that we just watched?
What?
That's in Naperville.
That was Chuck Kennedy's house. Naperville. It was in his
That was
creepy
Chuck Kennedy's
basement.
house in Naperville.
I can hear you a lot better in the video than I can now, Laura. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's her real voice.
As opposed to this voice.
Yeah, Chuck had found a tombstone on his property that was upside down. He thought it was just a rock. And it was the tombstone for this little boy named Christopher, but it's spelled Christopher. And he had already had weird things going on in there. So when he met us girls, he decided, hey, why not let the three pretty ladies come and check out my house, of course. And yeah, we've been there 3 times, and each time we got good stuff.
Yeah, that one on the steps when it says "Thank you, mommy." That old Christopher, as it were, sounds like he might have had an English accent.
We think it was German, but what you didn't hear was before that, we said, oh, Christopher, I'm going to leave some toys for you here, play with them if you want, that kind of thing before we went upstairs to actually go eat. And we just left the camera running. So that was pretty nice that we did that, went upstairs. 2 minutes later, he's saying, thank you, mommy.
Mm-hmm.
And even for the kid to think that Marsha was his mommy too, just kind of
Yeah.
just to refer to a stranger.
Well, that ties in with so Megan, you were mentioning that with the Paranormal Mom Society, you guys treat investigations as you go in there very similar. Like you have a motherly take on things when you go into it. Can you give me a little bit of an idea of maybe one of the places that you went to, you were doing evidence review, something you might have found that had a similar take to it?
Yeah, we actually had a client in Elgin. It was actually a 3-story apartment. So the base level was like a hairstyling salon, and then the other 2 levels would be like apartments. The lady who lived in the middle apartment, her son recently passed. So it was like a really big, hard hit because he literally passed like maybe a month or 2 before we came out. So she really wanted us to kind of keep an eye out and, an ear open if we did catch anything that kind of sounded like him, or maybe he was visiting. So it was definitely one of those cases where it was a very tough time kind of pinpoint like stuff that we were catching. Is it something that could be, nothing? Is it something that could be, fitting with her story and what's going on? So that one, we actually did get a couple little clips of, what sounded like his voice. That, I don't know if it really was or if it really wasn't, you really can't say. But it kind of, it felt like it gave her closure, because she really wanted him to be around still for her. Not necessarily to stay, but just to know that he does come back and visit in a way. That's what she wanted.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice validation.
Yeah. Now, when you say you were brought in as a what I'm going to call the evidence specialist, maybe describe to me what that entails. Are you still the evidence specialist, or
I am.
do you? Okay, excellent. What does something like that entail for you from an evidence specialty standpoint?
The way we kind of work out getting through all of our evidence review, we split it among all of our members. So there's like 7 of us. And so we take those little, like the recording files from each of the recorders, and we split it, 1 for every person. So my job is to compile what the findings are. So they'll give me timestamps, they'll give me whatever they're hearing. And I'll go in and I'll clip those files and then just make them a little bit louder in most cases.
Excellent.
So that's basically what my main priority job is. Like, I'll take care of recorders more than anything. Where video is kind of more of an every person kind of job, where audio is my specialty.
Yeah, I know Dean and Tim on our end. They've got tons of archived video, audio, all kinds of things that need to be reviewed. And for those that aren't familiar with any type of investigation or paranormal investigating itself, if we're at a place, as you probably know, Megan and Laura, if we're at a place for even 5 hours, but then you've got 5 audio recorders, 5 video cameras up, and what have you, all of a sudden you're looking at 50 hours worth then off of that 5 hours that you've got to go back and review. And that's a full-time job for anybody to sit back and catch everything or to review everything. So kudos to you for taking the time to go and do all that, and then at the same token working it to where you amplify it to where it can be heard, or snipping it down to where it's a clearer file. That's fantastic.
And all of us, we work full-time jobs. So it's a lot of trying to juggle that and spacing it out, so it's not like you're sitting for 8 hours straight listening to audio. A lot of people, it's a lot, but it's kind of worth it in the long run, because you still get that validation, and sometimes you get some really awesome pieces of evidence.
Yeah, and that's a great way to go about it. I mean, I've often said to Dean, like, I can't imagine we could have the world's greatest EVP that has just never been listened to, because we have so much stuff that just is, never had an ear to it except for when we were there. So we could have just, all kinds of golden goose eggs sitting around, but hard to say. So again, taking the time to review that along with a full-time job. Folks on your team, if you are Paranormal Mom Society, and there are moms involved as well, I know being a mom is a full-time job along with a full-time job. So that's great to hear that you guys have that in process.
So I'm going to try to share screen the My Ghost Story cameo. See if this works here.
Hey, that's Jack Nicholson.
All right, there
I
we
was
go.
having a meeting with
There she is.
people I worked with.
Her claim to fame,
Her bra strap.
right? Bra strap and a flip of the hair.
For 15 seconds of fame.
Well, when we look at that, was that also at the place in Naperville, or where was that at?
Yeah, that was at Chuck's
Okay.
in Naperville.
Now she tells me
Yeah,
too
like I
that
said, 13.
you spent like the whole day there. I think it was during
13
Naperville
hours.
Rib Fest.
13
and
hours.
13 hours. And I believe it was the same
Well,
day as the Rib Fest. And you could hear like Ted Nugent jamming in the background all the way over there.
We had that happen in Maywood. We did the reuse depot out there. And so they had a, what do you call it, like a concert in their parking lot leading up to our investigation. So the first like 2 or 3 hours of audio was just music from the band.
You could bootleg that, you know.
We could have.
Right? Either that or you try to play it on, replay it for somebody else to hear. There's copyright infringement on that, though.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is totally our EVPs right here. This is the prime evidence
Yeah.
for this location.
It's the ghost of Gene Simmons.
Is he dead?
He's not, but his career is a long time ago.
Oh, no, okay.
Uh,
Wow.
I'm having fun on this one here. Dean, take us into Aurora.
Well, Aurora, we had a great location. It's the Aurora Regional Fire Museum. And we were asked out there and did a few things, caught a few clips, but we do have something that resembles the word mommy. So I do have a clip there I could show you. Let's see.
So, around what time of year was this that you guys were out there?
It's a few years back, 2019-ish, 20.
Yeah.
It
Uh,
was autumn.
It was
there.
fall? Okay.
yeah. So let's see.
Around Halloween time, of course.
Yeah. Now that sounds very similar to what you were trying to get me to say at the beginning of the show. Okay.
So that was our mommy captured at Aurora, and it's downtown. There's so much history there. You could not deep dive into the history and find out if what was, if anyone was killed there tragically. There's probably been, I mean, it's a fire museum. It's a fire department. There's been fires in Aurora. There's an underground tunnel system that goes through there. There's cars, car wrecks, anything that could happen there. So there's no way to do a historical dive into this location, but the location is awesome. It's huge. Laura, did you have anything to add?
Well, I just wanted to say that at that location, that museum, we were able to go into the beginning of the tunnels from that location. They opened the door for us, right? I mean, I didn't go down. My knee was bad. Crap. But
No, I can hear it.
okay, good. Yeah, so there was a door there. They opened it up and let us go in to check out the tunnels. I didn't go down because my knee was bad, but the rest of the guys did.
Yeah, and then I mentioned brown Lecluse spiders, and Tim's like, "See ya."
Out of here.
All right. I don't blame him. I don't do spiders.
But we did find an old German newspaper down there from the 1940s or 50s down there, like a couple little pieces of it.
that's what I like about getting into these places. Like, it's the history too. Like, you just get into a place and it's like literally it's living history. Like, some of the locations I'm able to get into because of the group, it's like amazing. Like, I'm such a history nerd, so I mean, on top of it, like the ghosts are, the main reason we're there. But I'm also there to kind of appreciate some of the stuff that's just untouched.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes me smile too, because like if I go into a museum, we've got the local Elwood House here by us where they made barbed wire or something along those lines. But you go walk in there on the regular tour and they'll take you around and show you everything. And then if I start to ask the question like, is this place haunted? Do you have any experiences? And they come to find out that you were a paranormal investigator. All of a sudden those ropes tend to come down a little bit more. Well, here, touch this. Tell me what you think about this. And I love that. I'm like, hey, well, okay, I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah, that's where we went. We took that tour, me and you, Nick.
I do recall that we did. They've actually, so we'll have to come back out, Dean, because they opened up 2 other buildings that were also owned by the family that were never really open to the public before. They were actually still occupied by members of the family, but they have since been donated back in our, I want to call it Park District property now. So 2 new places to check out. Yeah.
And what was the name of it?
It's called the Elwood House.
Elwood House?
Yeah. So they're
invented barbed wire.
Yeah. Elwood and Glidden were the 2 folks that lived in DeKalb, Illinois, and invented barbed wire of all things. And they've got some great history. The place isn't. Yeah, the place isn't super huge. I mean, it's a nice size, but I wouldn't say it's like a spread out mansion. But the fact that now that they've added in other places in the history in there, that with it being in the family for some time, that people had to have passed away. It's got a parlor. I'm sure they had, some type of visitations or what have you for people that passed away. So there's always that. But the people tried to keep, I think if Dean remembers this too, they always tried to keep it like hush hush. Like I was like, oh, you guys got any stories, paranormal stories? They were just straight face, stone face, like, no, nothing ever happens here. I'm like, come on.
Well, they did a write-up on us, and they included some of the claims that were taken there, but they kind of pushed them off to the side. They didn't acknowledge that it was true or not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we agree that every place is haunted, right, Nick?
Yeah, well, every place has a ghost.
Every place is haunted, and every piece of evidence is a ghost.
It's a ghost. I've concluded that. I don't even need to see it. I can just come in blind, and they're like, hey, have you seen this picture? I'm like, no, but it's a ghost. Like,
it's a ghost.
Right.
Which is funny because we captured at Aurora Regional Fire Museum is Tim picked up the ghost box and it says it's a ghost.
Move it closer to that light fixture.
Yeah, Tim, hold it up. Try to follow it in the air.
She said it's outside, so.
It's outside?
Outside.
She said outside.
So
What is it?
like a
Oh, it's the
radio antenna or something. Try to hold the device, Tim, and then follow it. Yeah, kind of.
Whoa! It's a ghost.
Is that what it
Just
said?
said it's a ghost.
Shut up.
Nice. All right.
She wants supper, guys.
Shut up.
And D. Supper and ghost.
It's a ghost?
Play it back. Try to hold the device, Tim, and then follow it.
It's a ghost. Whoa! It's a ghost.
Is that what
She said it's a ghost.
Shut up.
Nice. All right.
She wants supper, guys.
Shut up.
And D. Supper
A ghost?
Try to hold the device, Tim, and then follow it.
It's a ghost. Whoa! It's a ghost.
Is that what
She
it said?
said it's a ghost.
Shut up.
Nice. All right.
She wants supper, guys.
Shut up.
And D. Supper
A ghost?
I'm cold.
When the ghosts are validating themselves, you know something's going on,
ghost.
right? It's a ghost. Great. That's that leads me to my next point of contention or discussion here is I have a note that says Skeeter.
Well, I noticed, Megan, that you are a parrot lover
Yes.
or a bird lover.
Really?
Well, when we when we stayed in the old schoolhouse, actually, there's parrots upstairs, and one of them is our mascot, Skeeter. So let's see if I can share this picture with you. So what?
I was asking Megan, how many parrots does she have?
Oh, 4.
Oh, we have 4 too up here.
Mm-hmm.
God bless you.
So
Yeah.
this is
Some days I really do need it.
I always do.
I love them, but they're like little demons. They're just, you know,
yeah.
there's some days.
Like mini pterodactyls.
Oh, look at him.
Oh.
Beauty.
They are mini dinosaurs. So that's Skeeter?
Yeah.
It's a white belly kike. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, kite.
It's kike.
I think it's, yeah, kite.
Kike.
Kike.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Skeeter. He's still upstairs. And
See, that's where it was funny because in our group, besides me, only the founder's son is not a mom. Because I'm just a pet mom, and he's kind of a pet dad in a way. So it kind of works in that way. But yeah, I have a African gray. I've got a Sunday conure, and I got 2 cockatiels.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I noticed that on your page. And yeah, Skeeter actually moved into the school when I moved in. When I was moving my stuff in, Skeeter was moved in. And so he's my little buddy. He would follow me around. He would go upstairs with me, and you got to watch out. And when Laura would stay there, she would take him into the shower and hair dry him.
no, I do that with my oldest one. She's about 30. She's early 30s.
Yeah.
I take her in the shower too.
Mm-hmm. But
Just
this
because,
Skeeter
they're so
didn't.
dusty, it helps.
Skeeter didn't like women too much. Laura's been bitten by Skeeter many times. And one day I made the mistake of wearing this. I wore this orange knit hat and it was sticking up. And I go over there and all of a sudden Skeeter's eyes are like bright orange and he's looking at me weird. And I'm like holding him and like he's starting to attack me and like digging his beak into my hand. And I'm like, what the hell? Next thing I know, there's blood everywhere. Skeeter's bleeding. I'm bleeding. We're like punching out and everything. Like, what the hell? So I go in there. I finally get him in the cage. And so I'm like in the bathroom, and then I look at myself in the mirror and I see my orange head. I'm like, well, no kidding, he attacked me. He thought I was a giant freaking parrot. So then I quickly took that off, went back in there and make sure he was all right. I was like, man. But yeah.
It's never boring.
Never boring,
Yeah,
right?
it's never boring.
And then the other ones are kind of crazy. The one, Affleck, is the blue and gold Amazon. And it's funny because every time at night when Judy would cover the birds and she would go into her bedroom, that bird would just sit there and recite all her phone conversations that she had throughout the day. So she'd be sitting there going, you know, and just laughing. And that bird sounded like Judy.
Yeah. Like my older girl, she knows my sister's voice. So it's really crazy because she'll be in the other room. And then all of a sudden I'll hear, Megan, get over here. It'll be in my sister's voice. Or it'll be like her laugh is my sister's laugh.
I wonder if there's
Judy-
any good ghost thing. Is there any good ghost stories out there where people thought it was a good EVP and it turns out just to be a parrot?
Probably.
I'd like to know.
Kind of cool.
Well, you know, that brings up a good point too, because you hear somebody you could have sworn it was a family member or something, but it was really just a bird. I also wonder if, you know, people always say dogs and cats and stuff, they can see, you know, the other side, or they can sense when something's there. I don't know much about birds, but Megan, maybe you've got some experience. Did your birds ever get kind of wiggy and like, you know, you think maybe they're seeing something that might be there?
Yeah. There's in my current residence, it doesn't feel like there's any activity, so I don't really have it happen anymore. But where I used to live, they would go and look up at one particular point in the ceiling. There was never anything there, not a speck, not a bug, nothing. And then all of a sudden, I would catch them doing it. Like they would all look at that one spot and then just freak out, and like they'd be like rashing around in their cages, like as if something scared them. But I mean, there's literally nothing. I don't know if there's anything really to it, but I always thought that my previous home, that we had like a resident, spirit that kind of hung around in a way.
Well, if the behavior's changed from the birds since then, I could see that it would have some validation to it if the birds don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, speaking back on the point, you ever had that happen where you're laying in bed and you hear your name called and you're home alone?
Mm-hmm.
That's what would happen constantly at my previous where I used to live. Constant. Yeah. And I wouldn't even be half in and out of sleep. I'd be fully awake on my phone and hear it from downstairs, like my grandma calling me or, my sister, and no one's home. So.
Yeah, that was one of the claims at the school. One of the claims at the Alden schoolhouse was people would just go to sleep there and they would hear their names being whispered in their ear. Tim experienced that. And when I was in the washroom, I had a little boy say, "You want to play?" And I'm like, "Holy crap!" It's like,
yeah, you want to play?
All right.
Why you're in the bathroom? He wanted to play with you? That's kind of scary.
I don't know if he was talking to me. I don't know. I just heard it.
I'm pretty sure he was talking to you.
For them, it's a school, not a bathroom.
Right. Do you feel like? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but there's been a few things. I lived there for many, many, many years, and quite not too much action there. Every once in a while, you would get the corner of the eye stuff, but those birds, yeah, I could see. I know Laura had seen a man with a flannel shirt in front of one of the bird cages there. So they know that there's birds there because
they interacted with them.
The bird was sick, and I was the only one to come in the door, and there was nothing on but just a nightlight. And I swore there was the back of a man with a flannel shirt, jeans, and work boots. When I turned on the lights, there was nobody there. But according to the owner, that bird was sick, and she thinks it was her husband, deceased husband, checking in on the bird because that bird was quite old, around 30 as well.
Right. And to touch on that, we have one of our biggest, we ask all the time kind of questions is, what do they see? Is everything still in their time period, or do they see things that are more present, right? Mm-hmm. We actually had a client that an investigation we did in Elwood, funny enough. And they were a couple, and so they would sleep in bed. And one night, one of them woke up, and they have pretty much a smart house. So they have all these panels on all the walls, controlling everything from humidity to temperature to lights. And so they have a smart panel installed on the bed, not on the bed, but on the wall by the door that would lead into their bedroom. And it was at the foot of the bed. So the one guy woke up and he sat up, and there was a little girl facing away from him, staring at the smart panel. And so when he looked at her, he could just see the back of her hair, because he could, describe her, but she, obviously no face. And then he says in the doorway behind that little girl was an older woman in the doorway standing over her, watching her.
Wow.
I don't know how I'd feel if I could continue to live in if I saw that,
Especially if they can do the smart stuff. I mean, if the ghost came in there and said, "Hey, heat up the bed to 150 degrees,"
Here we go. Have some fun.
Well, that's a great question too. I mean, would or can spirits be able to interact with modern technology? I would see that it would be possible. I mean, kids these days, my kid included, they can figure out an iPad quicker than their grandma can, you know. So I could easily see a child spirit just playing around, and next thing you know, it's creating hellfire in the house.
Now, if they could give back massages, then that's something different.
I'm going to invite them all over to my house if that's the case. They can certainly move in at any given time.
Where can I sign up?
Right. Megan, have you ever felt like anything's followed you back from one of the investigations?
No, you know, we're pretty like consistent with making sure we make it known. Like, you're not allowed to follow us home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as much as you might want to, we cannot have, you know, spirits follow us home. Because if you don't reiterate that, you know, at the end, I feel there is a chance they could. I've never
absolutely.
had them follow me though.
Yeah,
So.
I've had experience with that, but I'm a little bit different than maybe, you know, a lot of folks. There's a lot of people sage, they'll do some prayers, they'll do some things. I just kind of leave that door of communication open. You know, I want to be able to communicate with any of them, whether it's in my house, their house, down the street. But you know, you bring up a good point as far as protection, things of ways to ensure you don't get followed home, which kind of gives me a question that I have. Is Dean, you were mentioning something about a prayer or protection at the Bell Witch Cave at one point in time. Care to elaborate on that while I share this question from Greg, wondering if is a computer screen showing in the bottom of Laura's window?
I was looking at that. I was looking to see what she was watching on TV back there.
Okay. Either that or she's got some very interesting neighbors that running neon signs there. Shut the curtains.
Well, the Bell Witch Cave prayer is something that Laura and I went to the Bell Witch Cave, and she was walking with a cane. She was weeks before surgery. She was having, it was either her ankle, her knee, or her one of the bones. She
Wow,
could,
really? Really?
one of the bones were being replaced, but she went down there with me and we had a great time. But in the cave, it got narrower, and I had heavy duty asthma at the time, so I couldn't go all the way back in there. But I told Laura, I said, stay back here because she's no way getting through that. And I said, we stopped at this place here. Actually, I can pull up a picture.
While you're pulling that up, Megan, have you ever been to the Bell Witch Cave?
No, it's definitely on my bucket list of to visit.
It's a fun
I've
excursion.
seen so much on it. I just haven't made my way out there yet.
Definitely, that's the thing. You can never run short of places to go for paranormal investigations.
So this here is the grave of a little girl that they found or something like that. And so that's the big area that was open. So then I asked Laura to say a prayer to this little girl while we were all in another section of the cave. So
I sat and talked to her, but I got nothing on the audio. Nothing. I don't put any stock in that place being haunted. Like I said, I think it's a fun excursion, and it's not a lot of money. So there's a decent restaurant close by.
You think a lot of it is just a Hollywood folklore type deal?
I think it's just a way, some poor people that found a way to make some money by giving tours, and now they're millionaires. They only have to work
Hey.
2 months a year.
More power to them. I need to find myself with something like that.
It's still a cool
that's Laura in the cave. Mermaids have more
How
fun.
far back does it go?
God
Does it
damn.
go pretty deep, or is it
Just a little
more?
bit. I'm not sure about yards wise, but it wasn't that far back there. But it started getting,
Really?
you started had to go
Enough
crawl
with the
in there. And you could go further back, but because of the rain, the water would rise up. So when the water's down, you can actually go back further, unless you wanted to swim through that. But
Yeah, apparently it fills all the way up with water sometimes.
right. But as far as it being haunted too, Laura and I do a lot of the spiritual stuff, so we felt it was nice to stop and say a prayer and kind of have that spiritual connection to whatever spirits were in there. But that I gotta save the Bell Witch Cave story for another day, because I actually have a map of everything that ties into coincidence. that'll blows my mind. So of all the stuff that happened during that tour. I'm sorry.
Hey, we were looking at the cave, Laura. It's a flattering cave. It's okay.
Take that picture down. All right. Oh, no. Got another one here.
Better not be of me.
Oh, you're in there, Laura.
It's Tank Thompson and Laura Redmond there.
Tank Thompson.
How long ago was it that you guys went there?
Oh, let's see, what date was this picture on? 2017, October. It was my birthday, 2017. And I'm telling you, the story, because we went to Memphis, Beale Street. Something's coming up. Why is something coming up here?
Someone wants to be seen.
And yeah, it's a long story, but it's pretty cool. It was a fun trip. But yeah, 2017.
That's one of my favorite areas in the United States, the Memphis area. I love Memphis.
And I know
Beale
Laura
Street.
loves seeing pictures of herself, so I have a few to share. She's not near, so I won't get hit.
I'll find out where you live.
Right?
Really? I swear to God. Jesus,
Kane
I look
County
like-
Farm Cemetery. Come on.
This is Kane County, Illinois?
Yeah.
I can't even read that.
Kane County Farm, that poor farm over there.
Oh, God, that's a long time ago. Judging by how skinny I was, I could tell you it was a long time ago.
All right. Is that on there?
That's enough with the pictures. Okay.
Does it? Right. Laura's calling it quits on the pictures there.
Well, at least
Never.
you're picking out pretty decent ones. Could you send me that one? Because I'd like to have that one.
Right. That's great.
Do you have a picture of the dick you could put up there?
Yeah. I don't know that, hopefully, no, because this is a Mother's Day. I don't need to be on for Mother's Day with pictures of me.
I'm sure you've been called a mother once or twice before.
Oh.
Nick, okay.
Plenty, actually. I think 3 times before I even went live on the show today. For sure. That's
Astronaut Laura.
Damn it.
I don't even know where this was, to be honest with you.
I don't either. What if I was drinking?
heavily at that point. Speaking of drinking, Dean had a talking point in here for drink recipes. What was that about, Dean?
Well, I did find a few. Let's see here.
The look on Laura's face when you said that was great. Like, I found a few. Do they mix well with the narcotics that you were taking? That's
all right. There was Ghost in the Graveyard cocktail from Martha Stewart. 2 ounces of black vodka. 2 ounces of cream de cocoa or coffee flavored liquor. 1 scoop of vanilla ice cream. Pinch of finely grated nutmeg for garnish. And you combine the vodka and everything, set it aside, get the scoop of ice cream in a highball glass, Slowly pour the vodka mixture over the ice cream, top it with nutmeg, and boom, you got Ghost in the Graveyard cocktail.
Ghost in the Graveyard cocktail.
In the graveyard.
I said, throw the ice cream out, shot, be done.
That's the ghost out of the graveyard. That's take the ghost out of the graveyard. Just two shots of vodka.
All right.
Nobody needed Martha Stewart for that one.
And there was another one here. Paranormal Activity. Let's see if I can share the screen.
Is this a Martha Stewart as well?
What's that? Is that it? Nope. I don't know how to share it. I don't think I can share it. It's how to make a Paranormal Activity cocktail. I can't even pronounce these words. There's black sambuca,
Sambuca, yeah.
coconut milk. I think I already lost Laura on that one. Lucid.
Not a coconut fan?
Huh?
She's not a coconut fan?
Well, she won't want the ice cream. She's not going to have coconut milk.
Right. Sounds like it's going to make you see Paranormal Activity after you drink the thing.
So there are paranormal drinks out there. Paranormal Activity and Ghost in the Graveyard.
So, speaking of that, though, there's one drink that people have been known to drink that could cause paranormal activity. Absinthe. Have you ever had absinthe?
That was in the Paranormal Activity.
Oh, it was? Absinthe was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the word you didn't know how to pronounce?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sambuca and absinthe, that does sound like a recipe for disaster, for sure. I know that you were... Sweet. You're supposed to pour it over some sugar and some wormwood and let it kind of do its thing, and it make you chase the green fairy, as they call it.
Wow.
So Megan, do you have any? You said you had some EVPs to share.
I do. I'm gonna see if I can play them.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Can you still see me if I do this?
Sure.
All right. So. Let's see if I can share my screen if it comes through. Otherwise, I'll play it on my phone. Should work here. I do have, speaking of like the main topic here, I do have one that's mom related.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna see if that one will come through here. Share.
While Megan's pulling that up, for those of you that just joined or have recently joined, this is Megan Erl from Paranormal Mom Society, who has joined us today for our Mother's episode of Paranormal Pickers.
Mommy.
You got to say it like...
I didn't come in. I didn't come in at the beginning of the show. Did you open up with Mother from Danzig? She definitely closed it.
Oops, something's coming out.
Yep.
Did that come up by any chance?
It's coming up. Mother, tell your children not to walk my way.
You're welcome.
All right, let's see if it comes through.
Tell your children not to say the words, what they mean, what they say, mother.
I'm going to play it on my phone.
Okay.
I thought I had heard some kids talking at some point.
I can't see Nick at all. He's just a swirl going in the corner.
That's standard. I've been a squirrel going in the corner my entire life, Laura.
A swirl in the corner.
I'm going to. You might have better luck than me, but okay. See if you can hear this. I'm gonna pull it on full blast here.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're gonna be able to hear it. But it was basically, it was a small child, and it says, "I don't see her, mommy, mommy, mommy," and it just keeps echoing off. And there's no one in the room or even in the house when this happens.
And where was
There's
this?
no one in the house?
This one was in Elwood. This is the same one where they saw the little girl looking at the smart pad.
Okay.
Yeah,
And there's no one in the house at all?
no one. And we don't have anyone on our team with a high-pitched, childlike voice. I mean, everyone is, older, and then me and Luke, who's the founder's son, he's the only guy. So when we get guy voices, usually it's easy to narrow down if it's someone on our team or not. But it's really rare to get like a really small little girl like that, and it's super clear. I can see if I can send it to you. Would you be able
Yeah,
to
if you
play it
send
off
it via
the messenger?
Facebook, you could do that. Yeah.
Okay.
If you send it
Let's
to
do that.
Dean via Facebook Messenger, he can pull it up. But I swear, while you're doing that, and Dean was singing, so it was in between Dean singing and when you were playing the original one that you sent,
Mhm.
I could have sworn I heard a child talking. I said that too. I think I hear kids talking, but
So maybe it was coming in.
I think it was. But it was I was getting Danzig and EVP at the same time.
Yes. See if you can send me those. And I'm going to bring up something else here that Laura was a part of. So I want to recognize her for this.
Better be a picture.
It better not be a picture, she says.
Join the fight against cancer. So back in, was 2012 your first one, but you were part of Paranormal Kicks Cancer.
2011.
2011 was your first year, and then 2012. Is this the one we had at, well, there was one, you had the first one with the Paranormal Cops, and then the second one was Bartonsville, and then the third one was at Haunted Rockford, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So just wanted to showcase you there for the Paranormal Kicks Cancer.
I know a lot of the other folks that we support around here as well. Always like to plug Paranormal Kicks Cancer, PKC as it were. Great cause. Obviously, anybody fighting cancer, whether it's through the paranormal or without the paranormal, deserves our support. And Laura, you're still with them, right? You still help out with Paranormal Kicks Cancer, PKC?
No, I do not. A group in Florida took it over, and they have a different vision than I do. So we just, I just kind of dropped back, and I have my own charities that I support. If they asked me to, I would help. But like I said, my money I raised went to the local chapters to help people get a ride to and from treatments, or to get their medicines back, to get care packages sent to them. And the Florida people who founded it and actually LLC'd it, they have a different vision of where they want the money to go. So I just kind of wished them well and stopped doing what I was doing. It's a lot of work, and my heart just wasn't in it at that point. So
yeah, there's another one that I know Greg and his folks. Is it something to do with lost limbs?
Yeah, there's a Paranormal Kicks Cancer, Lost Limbs that he promotes.
All great groups. Dean, did you receive the messages from Megan? He forgot. He's got a little ADHD at times, so I gotta keep him on track.
He's good. I sent 2. The first one I sent the mommy one. The second one was a child going hide in here.
So you're playing hide and seek too? That's even.
Yeah, we're playing hide and seek on the case. But I find like as a I'm just playing it.
He's got me on there. That's me.
It's little Nick. We call this little Nick.
There it goes. I can hear it. I can hear it.
Oh wait, I got you. Oh wait a second.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on here?
I know. I got the whole. I got to get the Facebook off of there. All right, hold on.
It's really it drags and it keeps going beyond the cutoff. It keeps going mommy.
And you can hear that kid. They start to say something at the beginning. You know, obviously I can't make out, but you can tell it's a kid's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Just the second one. It's just going to take a minute.
It's little Nick.
Right. Were they both at the same location?
No, the second one was I think in Elgin, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, the second one was Elgin in the basement.
Hide in here.
Hide in here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I certainly heard him say it.
And it gets like dark, like deep after.
Here. You can hear like the second.
It's funny, as moms, like, as most of our members are moms, it's interesting. We get a lot of mommy, a lot of like ma, a lot of, you know, I could probably pull like 40 different EVPs from different cases where they're calling us like mom or mommy or, you know, just because it's like a motherly figure.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like we pull that sometimes where we get a lot of those kind of responses.
Yeah, it's good too. I mean, it again ties back into you guys being paranormal moms. You're going in there with that motherly love anyway. Dean, what are you showing here?
Greg Cause got us. Laura, you and Megan finally give these guys a chance. All right, so I'm going to play that last one or the other one, the first one again.
That's so nice.
Did you hear it?
Yeah. Did you?
No, I can't hear it on this side because I got it right up to the microphone.
Oh, you're missing out, buddy.
I'll listen to it again.
You're missing out. The come hide and hear one too. I mean, it's like we're having a conversation with the kids straight there. The craziest thing too is the one that you said where the first one where it kind of fades out over time when nobody was in the house at all, and you know they saw the little girl beforehand near the smart devices. Again, validation on that point there too.
Yeah, and a lot of times what we do, we keep a log of who's in and out. So we have a better idea of when things happen and we can kind of pair it up with what time, like realistically that happened in the investigation. So we'll know if someone's in or out of the house, you know.
I think we had something like that in Sycamore at Mark's daughter's house. And I think we left the recorders going and Mark captured a kid saying mommy. And that was the young girl who died at 18, just like a couple weeks before her graduation, Dolores. Yeah.
Sad. Mm-hmm. Megan, how many people are on the team there, PMS?
So we have Christy, who's our founder. We have Chrissy, Joanne, we have Luke, Liz, Teresa. I think that's 7 of us now. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Now we have 7 people.
Fantastic. Do you guys have a website that you could plug here?
We do. So it's paranormalsociety.com. And let's see if I have it here. Oh, also, while I'm at it, I'm also going to send you one last EVP that I feel like is very fun. Let's see if I can send it.
While I'm waiting for that,
Probably
let me
one
go
of
into the scrapyard.
Oh. Dean's checking out the scrapyard. Let's see what it is. So for those that don't know at home, the scrapyard is when Dean will gather some random effects. I hear it come through. Random photos, random anything that we could find in our scrapyard. What's today's scrapyard, Dean?
Y&T, yesterday and today. And Laura getting her tank top signed by the boys.
Yep. Y&T, is this a band?
It is a band. They've been together since the early 70s. Actually, the guy in the upper left-hand corner, Dave Menichetti, is the only original band member left playing. But ironically, I was a huge Y&T fan from when I was 16 years old. And Laura, living out in California, actually moved to Roselle. Later, when she returned, she was living in Roselle. And she was actually at their first concert or something like that. She saw Y&T live out in California where she lived. And nobody knows Y&T, but Laura did. So I'm like, hey, they're coming to Chicago. And she's like, well, let's go. And look, she got all the signatures.
Do you guys remember Rolling Stones records?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. I always get the
Rolling
stories
Stone
of
records
people
and
waiting in
tapes.
line there to make bands.
Harlem and Irving.
Mm-hmm.
I met Dave Mustaine there from Megadeth.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't remember
My
too much
parents, it
more.
was like Rat and White Snake. That was like their main.
Oh, don't mention Rat, or Laura. Laura actually hung out with Rat when she was a youngster. She was in the house where they were practicing.
I can't tell you nothing. You're not my front door.
I'm your voice.
Right. Listen. You've got so many claims to fame already today, Laura. Today, you've got your bra and your tattoo on the Ghost Show. You met Y&T. You used to hang out with Rat. This is great.
She heard Round and Round before any of us heard Round and Round.
100 times.
Okay.
Those were the good old days.
Dean, I believe. Dean, I believe it come through.
So this is the same one that the second EVP came from. This is the Elgin case.
Where you were playing hide and seek?
Yeah, same one, hide and seek.
I love the real-time update from Dean too.
Mama just killed a man. All right, here we go.
I don't know if you can hear it.
Play it again, Dean. Hold it closer. I can hear something right after it.
So it's a really high-pitched little girl giggle. But it would happen like right after the hide and seek.
So come hide in here. Yeah.
Yeah, come hide here.
Dean, did you have it on full volume?
Yeah, everything's turned up.
Okay. Fair enough. I like it. These are all fantastic pieces of evidence that we've come up with here across the board today. I see Dean had one more thing that I want to throw out here as well. Give us another 10 minutes of talking, and we'll play round robin here. But the thing that he sent me was horror movie moms. Right now, I'm going to put a spin on it though as I go around robin, and we'll start with Megan. If you could just give us your favorite, I don't know if you're a horror movie fan, right? Yes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. Give us your favorite horror movie mom.
Oh, favorite mom from a horror movie?
Yeah, favorite mother from a horror movie.
I was going to do, not too Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
Mrs.
gonna
Voorhees? Okay.
Yeah. Miss Voorhees.
Makes sense. She's a badass, originator of the series. I could see that. I'm actually wearing. See if I can get in close. Can't.
Oh, I love
really.
it.
Too funny.
Right. It's one of my all-time favorites as well. Dean, what about you? Who's your favorite horror movie mother?
Piper Laurie did it best, man. Margaret White from Carrie.
Yeah.
She put scary into scary, man.
Yeah. That's a great movie too. Do you ever see? I assume you saw the remake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Both of them actually pretty good. I mean, I don't often like remakes of things, but that one did a pretty good job.
She wouldn't get the Mother of the Year award, but she's gonna get she'll get the horror movie mom year award.
Right.
Not the regular one. We're talking about the horror mom.
Yeah. If the trick is going to scare, then that would be.
Lock your child up and
right,
that kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm going to unmute Laura and ask her the question as to who's your favorite horror movie mom.
I don't like horror movies, but my favorite mom, badass mom, is from Gemma Taylor from Sons of Anarchy. So otherwise it'd be the one from Carrie too, but.
Yeah. I'm going to take one off of left field. Even though it's not horror movie, I'm going to put it in the same type of genre because I've been watching it, and it's my pick is going to be the mom from Supernatural, Sam and Dean Winchester's mother.
Yeah, when she came back and went into the other world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's pretty badass. She might actually win Mother of the Year at the same token. So she'd be all right there. Was that where you were going with that, Dean, or did I just take that on a totally different direction from horror movie moms?
No, we got to throw it in there. Yeah, no, you went in the right direction.
That's good. I'm glad that I was picking up what you were putting down or smelling that you were stepping in, as it were.
You don't want to do that.
Right. Well, I guess maybe if I have one of those paranormal mixed drinks, I might. You never know where it goes from there. Let's see. We got maybe 4 or 5 minutes left in here. Megan, any closing thoughts on your end from Paranormal?
What are you doing next?
Yeah, what's coming up next?
What are we doing next, you're asking?
Yeah, what do you got? Anything? You guys got anything on the horizon? Any investigations? Anything like that?
Yeah, we have a couple lined up. We have some, exciting stuff coming up. Definitely have a lot of investigations. We have quite a few people that I've kind of talked to who are interested in maybe having us investigate a couple locations, some bigger stuff, name more businesses. We're kind of trying to open up 2 more historic sites. I know we were going to start doing a lot more road tripping now that the weather's nice too.
Yeah.
So we were looking at maybe stuff out of state, kind of a little bit more, maybe an hour or 2 away, just to kind of change it up. Because we are local, so a lot of us live within, probably like the furthest person is DeKalb, St. Charles, that area. But it's
that's my area. I love
centralized. Yeah. So it's kind of nice that everyone's so close. But it's nice to take a road trip every so often and maybe go see some new, more historic kind of locations.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, we got a late mother edition. Karen Black from House of a Thousand Corpses. Hey, great pick, Greg. I got my House of a Thousand Corpses. So my wife, she never ate. She's a picky eater to begin with, right? But I finally convinced her to try ribs. And the day that I cooked ribs for her, I decided that it would be a great time.
Again with the ribs. Again with the ribs.
Right, I figured it would be a great day to watch the House of a Thousand Corpses too.
Full circle.
Yeah.
We started talking about ribs. Now we're ending.
We're gonna end it on ribs, right? It's a let's take the ribs full circle here, Dean, and don't make him laugh because it might still hurt.
It's getting better where I can laugh a little bit, but coughing still is a challenge.
Well, don't do any investigations with Laura when there's a light bulb around. She'll make you cough with that wacky tobacco that she's got coming. Right?
During investigations, come on.
No. Of course not. That's
saging. It's called saging. It's not nothing more than that.
Laura, any closing thoughts from you? I'll let you keep it brief since you can hardly talk.
No, I'd just like to say thank you, Dean, for all the photos that you shared. Please send me the one that I really liked. But no, I'm really glad you had Megan on. You know, it's nice to hear from the paranormal moms. We don't get to see you guys. There's not been any conventions or any places where we've gotten to meet up, and it's been a while since I've seen any of you guys. So I'm glad that they were able to get you on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
These are my
Right, we'd love to have. Well, it's tough. We'd love to have yourself back, Megan, and any other members that would care to join us at some point in time for a PMS meets P&P rendezvous here. I'll give closing thoughts on my end. Megan, as everybody else has mentioned, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. I want to give myself another shout out here to the Paranormal Mom Society, as you can find them online. You guys are on Facebook too, yes, I assume?
We are, yeah. There's
Excellent.
a public group, and we have like a page like for just general, like, postings and everything too. So.
Sweet. Give them a like, give them a shout, and feel free to reach out to them as always. My end, thanks to you two both. Thanks to all the mothers out there that do what they do, not only in the paranormal, but in every aspect of our lives. I think I've said something similar to this on Facebook, but, God made moms because he couldn't be everywhere. So he put mothers in his place wherever they would go. So, right. The moms are there for that reason and that reason alone, to be God and protector for everybody. And not enough love goes out to them. Dean, yourself, closing thoughts?
I'd like to give a special shout out to our Ghost Head Soup Bombs, Laura, of course, Melissa and Amanda.
Yeah.
Happy belated Mother's Day, or happy Mother's Day week, Mother's Day month.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to give a shout out to all my paranormal moms. I mean, they've kind of adopted me at this point, so.
That's fantastic.
You're a feathered mom.
Yeah.
Fur babies, or whatever you call. What would
feather babies, I guess.
It rolls off the tongue. I love it.
Yeah, it makes complete sense.
Right. Shout outs to here again to Liz for joining us. It was Liz making some comments. Ron, glad to see you're out of the hospital again. Keep continued well-being and well health. Greg, as always, thanks for joining us online too. Any of the other folks that didn't leave a comment but did poke in, watch us on YouTube or wherever again you may find us, whether it's ghostheadsoup.com, Ghost Head Soup on YouTube, here on StreamYard, Facebook, as always. Appreciate you all for being a part of it and always hanging out with us. I think we're about a minute early, but we'll catch you guys the next time. Megan, feel free to stick around. Laura, stick around as we end the broadcast here. Have a good one, all.
Okay.
Oh, hey. Wow. Oh, hey everyone, it's Dean from Paranormal Pickers. Oh, I got the preview for the next episode. Oh, yeah. Here, take a peek.